Hello there everybody, my name is Logan S, and welcome back to my Paris-only playthrough of Pokemon FireRed. Now, if you haven't been watching up to this point, I understand, but basically this run is inspired by one of my childhood friends, Caitlin, my first real friend I ever made when I was a kid. She and I caught a Paris together, and she wanted to nickname it Ace, so that is where this run was inspired by, but getting into this, we already have 4 badges, and we are here clearing out the Silph's trying to get rid of Team Rocket. And here I'm going to run into my first real big block of this entire run. Now, up until now, it's not been too bad, but as you can see from what just happened, one wing attack from this Pidgeot, and I am obliterated at level 47. Unfortunately, I had to get all the way up to level 53 just to live one wing attack from this Pidgeot. And I've actually found out from this point on, it's actually on a roll. This 15 HP was the most HP I was left with from one wing attack from this Pidgeot, and we just get wiped again. And I'm not going to lie, I had to do this battle several times. And here you can see that I accidentally reloaded back up to the save where I was only at level 48. But anyway, yeah, I had to completely just do this so many times. It was at least 10 times that I had to do this battle. And I went from anywhere from living with 15 HP to 2 to 4 to sometimes just getting beaten by one wing attack, and obviously any crit that happened, my Paris was instantly gone. So I really hope once we get up to, if we can even make it to getting through the Elite Four to the championship fight, that we can somehow find a way to get past this Pidgeot, because my gosh, like, the rest of this battle is honestly not bad after getting rid of the Pidgeot, although this Growlithe, and eventually when it becomes an Arcanine later, if it uses a fire attack, I am also just screwed with this thing. So I am really gonna have to come up with some counters for this. Like, I'm hoping maybe I can find, I know there's a certain type of berry, I don't know if they didn't introduce it until later generations or not, that weakens a super effective attack, which I really hope I'm able to find. But anyway, in a couple of my tries of this, even after getting past the Pidgeot, this Growlithe was my next small hurdle I had to get over, because in this particular run, I was actually able to get past it because it didn't use any fire attacks. But in most of the attempts that I made, this Growlithe was just spamming, I think it was Flame Wheel, and it just obliterates Paris also. This Paris is not known for having a very strong physical or special defense, but we're able to take the Growlithe down there, and I think his last couple of Pokemon are going to go down fairly quick. Execute's coming in. I'm not worried about this thing at all. Yeah, it might be an issue later, but we're just going to slash it. It's going to go for a Stun Spore and miss, thankfully. Another slash coming in, and I could really use a crit, but no crit luck, and it's going to paralyze us. Now, you are going to notice in this run-through that I am going to have to use quite a bit of items. Sue me, it's a freaking Paris-only run-through. I think I'm entitled to using a few items, because this is basically going to be impossible, especially now that we're in the later part of the game, where a lot of gym leaders, and then especially later the Elite Four, they just have so many items, and that's going to come up later in this video when we finally get to it. Alakazam is coming in next, and I am hoping that we can still take this thing down fairly quickly with a couple of slashes, because it's going to try to calm Mind up and set up on us. But thankfully, Alakazam doesn't have a very strong physical defense, and it's going to go down to hopefully 2 slashes here. It's going to get off a future sight that we're going to have to tank later, but I think Paris should be fine. We've been pretty good at tanking Psychic-type attacks. Go figure, we're a Bug type, and Bug is a little bit strong against Psychic. Unfortunately, we don't get the roll, and we do end up having to go 3 slashes to take down the Alakazam. Thankfully, he didn't heal. But I know this Blastoise is going to go down fairly quickly. It's going to protect, try to stall us out, and hopefully his future sight, he's hoping is going to do more damage. We take it, we tank this thing, and That does more damage than I would like, but not too bad. Blastoise gets off a bite. We use our Giga Drain. I'm hoping this is going to be an OHKO, but of course, it's not anymore. But we do gain a fair amount of HP back. We have 2 more Giga Drains to get through this thing, and it flinches us with a bite. Now, that could be very bad, especially if it gets this double flinch, but it doesn't. Thank God. We get the Giga Drain, get more health back, and just don't get the roll to get it down, which is unfortunate. It's going to bite us again. I really don't want to flinch, but it paralyzes itself thanks to our ability. That's not really going to matter because we're going to end up taking this thing down. Now, after this, I did make a small mistake, and I had to go back and replay this battle, but this was the battle that I first got through and first beat it, so I'm not going to bother with that and showing you guys the mistake that I made. But anyway, I go over here just for the heck of it, get the Lapras, and place it in the box immediately. Because, you know, we only are going to run through this with Paris. So from here, our next challenge is going to be getting past Giovanni. I'm not too worried about this just because our Paris does match up well against a couple of his Pokemon. One thing I did learn when playing Giovanni this time, and I don't think you're going to see it too much here, but oh my god, the status conditions. I could not believe the number of times that I got poisoned and I got paralyzed, and it was just an overall absolute nightmare. But his Nidorino goes down fairly quickly. Thankfully, we don't get poisoned this time. And he's going to bring in his Rhyhorn. Now, this is basically just a free heal up for us. This thing is going to go down in 1 Giga Drain, get us all the way back up to full health. And I did have to do this battle a few times, but this was the first. Actually, it's the first you're going to see. I messed up before this and reloaded, and I had to do this again. But anyway, Nidoqueen is coming in next, and this thing is where a lot of status problems comes in, because it has Body Slam, I think. It has Poison Point. It has Poison Sting. We're going to just Spore this thing and hopefully try to get through this as quick as possible. Now, when I first started this run through, I thought that my strategy going through this entire thing was just going to be poisoning everything and just trying to stall everything out, which honestly could be a strategy if towards the later part of the game. I would just have to spam quite a few of items, but that also requires Paris to be able to tank quite a few hits, which Paris is not known to do. Here we finally get the Nidoqueen down, but we are unfortunately poisoned. We have fairly low HP for a Paris at least, and this Kangaskhan, we don't really have any super effective moves to be able to deal with this thing. It would be amazing if we could get another move, but unfortunately Paris doesn't really learn any moves that are going to be super effective against Kangaskhan, although I do have hopes for, you'll see at the end of this video, another strategy that I am hoping will be our saving grace, especially once we get to the Elite Four. But this Kangaskhan is very bulky. We are paralyzed, low HP. This thing does not want to stay asleep. I could not tell you how many times that it woke up after only being asleep for 1 turn, and that just kills any momentum that I try to build with this thing. We heal up a little bit, and like I said, here it goes, just waking up very, very quickly. Mega Punch us, obviously. Paris is going to go down to that. So reload back in, and I'm just going to cut out quite a few attempts here until we finally get back to the Kangaskhan. Put this Kangaskhan to sleep immediately, because that Mega Punch is nothing to be... I don't even know what the word I'm trying to say is. But it is a monster. We need this thing to stay asleep as many turns as possible while we just try to slash this thing all the way down. I did use a Giga Drain there to get a little bit of HP back. I know that it's not the best move, but anyway, Kangaskhan lowers our defense a little bit more, which is scary, but I think it didn't matter. And oh my god, the rolls. Thankfully, it doesn't go for Mega Punch, it goes for Rage. We are able to slash it. Oh, and look, there's the crit that I didn't need. That's like the story of my life, getting a crit on a turn I didn't need. But Giovanni eventually, finally goes down. And from here, we can make our way all the way down to Fuchsia City so that we can go for our 5th gym badge. And this is going to be the Poison type Koga gym leader, obviously. Or not, Poison type. And oh my gosh, Poison is just so super effective against Paris. Like, but we get down to him. I do my ceremonial save before every gym battle and most major battles. And with the game being saved, we jump in to fight Koga. He's going to lead off, I believe, with Coughing, which is not going to be too bad of a lead-off Pokemon for us. We can take that thing down pretty easily. It's the rest of his Pokemon that are going to be a pain, especially his last Pokemon. In comes our ace. We are very, very close to level 56, so this Coughing is still, it's going to be a 2-hit move. Like, oh my gosh. Of course, first move, it's going to throw out a Sludge and immediately poison us, which is not good for us. I decide to Slash, and hopefully whatever he throws in, I'll be able to heal up against. We will see. We go up to level 56. And Koga's going to bring in Muck. Just a pure Poison type here. We are going to be hurt by Poison. And I'm going to immediately go in and hope that this thing doesn't have too... Hopefully this thing doesn't hit too hard, so I'm going to try to full heal first. Then we're going to come in and try to get our HP back, assuming we live this hit. The Sludge comes in, and of course, it just takes us out. So, attempt number 1, another failure. Coming back into this, I have a different strategy. Take this Coughing down real quick, thankfully. I really, really needed that. Getting through it especially without getting poisoned. Like, the status conditions are no joke, man. Okay, so we are back to the Muck, and I am immediately going to put this thing to sleep, which is probably what I should have done in the first attempt, looking back at it. You know, if it was asleep, I would at least have been able to get rid of the poison, and possibly, if it stayed asleep, get the heal. But we get another lucky crit here, thank God, which takes it almost all the way down, and one more, and boom, we have made it through Muck. I was very, very surprised with that. This one is looking good. He's going to throw out another Coughing here, which after going through the first one, I'm hoping won't be too much of a issue here, so we have nothing else really to do. I decide to use Spore, just in case we don't take this thing down in one hit, which we probably won't. I really, really don't want to get poisoned again. Not before his final, I think it's Wheezing is his final Pokemon. Here I learned that Koga has a full heal, which I was not expecting. But thankfully, Slash is going to be a 2-hit KO, and we are faster than the Coughing. And look at that, another crit. Unfortunately, we didn't need it on that one, but we were able to take down his Coughing, and honestly, that was a best-case scenario with him using that full heal, because now he's not going to have the full heal to use on Wheezing. So, I can't remember if I tried this battle 3 or 4 times, but his Wheezing was definitely the issue. The Slash does absolutely nothing, and that is going to be a 5-turn KO, which is just not good. Actually, it might be 4-turn, but anyway, Wheezing thankfully stays asleep. We get it all the way down to red. It wakes up, uses Sludge on us, which I would like, please don't crit, please don't crit. Thank God it did not crit, but it does poison us. And unfortunately, I'm going to learn on this next turn. Here I'm deciding on what I should do, and I'm like, this thing is 1 hit away from going down. I'm going to try to Spore, and he's going to heal up with a Hyper Potion. These Hyper Potions are going to be the death of me. I don't know how many battles we're going to be able to win if our opponents are just going to spam all of these Hyper Potions, because it takes so much. We are getting to the later part of the game where Paris's weakness is really, really going to start to show. But I get rid of my poison, because I can tell this is going to take quite a few more turns, probably at least 1 or 2 more spores. And we are definitely going to need to heal up with another Hyper Potion. I'm going to have to stock up on these things. I haven't done that in a while, so... Now that we are back up to full health, Wheezing is still asleep. Nope, there it goes. It wakes up and uses Sludge on us. That's going to hit very hard. So, my next move is just, again, put it straight to sleep, heal up, and hopefully we can keep this going. Again, I am so sorry. I know that, oh, a real PokeTuber should really try to, you know, not use so many items. But again, this is a Paris-only run-through, people. Okay, I know I'm going to be over-leveled. I know I'm going to have to use items, okay? I am just trying my best to do this with only using Paris. And the reason I have so many other Pokemon with me, I have Doduo just for Fly, and I have all those Meowth with me just for the ability Pickup. Because I am trying to get the TM for Hidden Power. Because I am really hoping that this Paris has a Hidden Power that's going to be able to help us get through the Elite Four. Because we are not going to be able to get through the Elite Four with just Slash, and hopefully maybe later Body Slam instead of Slash, and Giga Drain. We're just not going to be able to do it. We are not going to be able to get past Agatha with that. A couple of more turns have gone by. We have Spored to this thing, put it to sleep, slashed it, and I can see the end of this battle inside. It is so tantalizingly close. I just want to finally beat Koga. And of course, he has yet another Hyper Potion. What is this, 3 or 4 items that he has used in this battle? Like, we have beaten this Weezing multiple times over. Of course, I guess you could say that about my Paris too. It's been beaten multiple times over, so... Another Sludge comes in. It gets a pretty high roll on that one compared to some of the other ones. I almost mistakenly used a Hyper Potion without first using Spore. That could have been a disaster if he would have crit, if I would have accidentally done that. Because at this point, I'd been trying and battling Koga for like a solid 20-25 minutes. Which was not fun. Heal up Paris. I think this is the last time. And all we have to do is I accidentally hit Spore there, and I'm like, oh my god, that's going to be it. That's going to be the reason that I lose this battle, because I was trying to go too fast and I accidentally hit Spore. But we hit it. Weezing wakes up, uses Sludge, and I know I am faster than this Weezing. It doesn't crit, so I am poisoned, and I'm thinking, you know what, I just want this over with. I don't think he has any more healing items in him, so we are going to Slash. Again, unnecessary crit at the end, but we do it. Koga goes down, and we have 5 gym badges using only Paris. I was so relieved at this point. And from here, I go and I see that, look at this, TM10 from a Meowth with Pickup, which is going to be the TM for Hidden Power. So we can finally figure out what Hidden Power this Paris has. I am really, really hoping for a Psychic Hidden Power, because that is going to help us so much with Agatha. And throw out Ace, and I actually ended up having to do some research on how Hidden Power worked, because I thought that the animation might change, and it doesn't. And it turns out for Hidden Power, what you have to do is basically, unless you know the IVs of your Pokemon, you have to just test it out against all kinds of different types of Pokemon. So tune in to the next video. I will let you know what Hidden Power Paris has, but I decided to finish out this video by just getting the Golden Teeth, getting the HM for Surf, and with that, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Consider giving me a subscription. It would really help out, and I cannot wait to try to see if we can finish this. Have a great day. Take care.